Thank you. Good evening, everybody. I'm Pat McDonough. This is not an election. This is a last chance. And I'm representing not a campaign, but a movement. We call it Save Our County. You see it on all of my signs. And that's what this is all about, because I predicted 4 years ago when I ran for this office that the election of Johnny Olszewski would be a disaster. 4 more years of this radical left mob in Towson will be a super disaster beyond recovery. We need to run an individual who has experience and knows how to push the buttons. 30 years ago, I led the campaign for Roger Hayden, the last Republican candidate that won the county executive's position. And I was his special assistant, and I got to know all of the agencies and departments. I know the law, I know what must be done. Now here's the good news. All of these things can be corrected. The education system can be changed. The public safety system can be changed. The housing in Baltimore County can be changed. But I will give you one warning ahead of time. When I become your county executive, there will be no complaining, there will be no calling into talk shows, there will be no letters to the editor. I'm going to import super citizen spirit. I'm going to put you all to work. We're going to rebuild this county together. I cannot do it alone. I'm going to call upon you. We're going to make Baltimore County great again, and we're going to do it the smart way with ideas, solutions, and success. Thank you.
And then we're going to go down the line in order. In 2017, County Executive Kevin Kamenetz issued an executive order regarding law enforcement standards on immigration status, diversity, and equity. In 2018, County Executive Don Moeller updated the order. Our current County Executive, Johnny Olszewski, has affirmed that the existing order remain in effect county-wide. The original order placed Baltimore County into a sanctuary county status. What is your position on the current order making Baltimore County a sanctuary county? Would you change it? And if so, how would you change it?
There are at least 7 executive orders that I will cancel in the first week. I'm going to review them all, and we've already looked at some of them. That one will be canceled. We will also bring the federal government into Baltimore County with 287G program, where we will train our police on drugs and on illegal immigration. We will also have them trained in the jail, and I will move the illegal immigrant criminals out of Baltimore County as quickly as possible. With the passage of legal marijuana next year, the fentanyl problem is going to be overwhelming because Maryland is a sanctuary state. I will create the smartest, baddest, toughest anti-drug strike force in the United States in Baltimore County to save our people. I will also create a policeman's Bill of Rights for Baltimore County, which was killed in the state legislature. I will bring Project Exile into Baltimore County, which means if you commit a murder in Baltimore County, you will be tried by the federal government, you will be subject to the death penalty, or your mama can visit you in Wyoming. And any fentanyl-related drug case, I will turn you over to the federal government under the Justice Department and have you prosecuted. We're going to do something different in Baltimore County. Baltimore City is a failure. I pledge to you that I will never allow Baltimore County to become another Baltimore City. It's a failure. It's not about race. It's about failure. We're going to have success because we're going to have programs that work. And finally, I say this to all of you. We're going to make safe neighborhoods, safe schools, and a safe county.
Kelsey, you're going to begin with this one. According to a report in the Washington Examiner, last year's border encounters were 1.7 million. This number is expected to reach 2.1 million this year. Our open southern border has become a drug trafficking route for the drug fentanyl, a synthetic opioid. According to Politico, the number of opioid overdoses totaled $80,816 in the year 2021. As Baltimore County Executive, what concrete plan would you propose to protect the citizens of Baltimore County, particularly our most vulnerable?
20 years ago in the state legislature, I introduced and passed the Police Officers' Bill of Rights in the state of Maryland, which has now been eliminated. For 20 years, I served Baltimore County in the state legislature honorably and retired. And I can tell you that the legislature is now filled with radical leftists, and they are coming after Baltimore County. And we better have somebody in that office that knows how to fight that mob, because they want to take our money and raise our taxes. But I meet with the police FOP every single week on my radio show. Dave Foldenauer is a personal family friend of mine. We're going to do a lot of things. I said earlier, we are going to build the smartest, baddest, biggest task force, strike force on drugs in the United States, right here in this county, because Maryland is going to be a legalized marijuana, fentanyl centerpiece on the East Coast. We have to protect ourselves here. I have 250 police short in Baltimore County and 500 in the retirement pipeline. We are going to raise their benefits. We're going to train them properly. We are going to create a great training center in Baltimore County for our police officers. And there are going to be police officers around this state wanting to come to Baltimore County and work for the best police department in the state of Maryland, maybe in the United States. And I will tell you another thing. We are going to bring guys and gals out of retirement back into our police department. This is going to be a tough job in these next 4 years. It's very difficult. It's very complicated. The only way we can win this fight, we will be an island of sanity and success in an ocean of craziness in this state. But it's going to take a leader who will stand up and hold the line. Someone who will stand up to the Baltimore Sun and the radical left and say, I don't care what you think, this is my county and it will come first and we will save our county.
First, the Maryland legislature passed the Maryland Police Accountability Act of 2021, which caused police officers to either move out of state or retire. Baltimore County is short 100 police officers, mostly due to this law. Therefore, Baltimore County's crime rate has dramatically increased over the past 2 years. What is your realistic and measurable plan to address this issue?
As I said before, I co-sponsored and passed the first Police Officers' Bill of Rights 20 years ago. And I will pass another one when I become your county executive. I will tell you this, Melissa Hyatt is a politically correct, wokey police chief. My police chief will be told to do something different. We're going to make crime illegal again. I will tell you another thing. We will have the best police force, the best trained police force. The fentanyl is coming. The way you stop the fentanyl is you create an act called the Fentanyl Prosecution Act. The state legislature will not pass this. I will ask my legislators in Baltimore County to introduce it. If they fail to introduce it, we will have litigation that will force it. Anyone who deals in fentanyl will be subject to the Project Exile law, which means you are subject to the death penalty or being sent to the federal government Department of Justice where you can get no parole. They have no parole at that level. These are some of the things we're going to do, but it's going to take experience. I already meet with the Fraternal Order of Police every week, and it is not 100 police short. It's 250 police short, and there are 500 in the pipeline. And unless we put together a police force with a law and order chief, a law and order county executive, we're going to have trouble recruiting. But we've got to retain. We've got to have retention packages. We have to train these guys and gals how to do the right thing. And we are going to do that, and I promise you, I will never, ever allow Baltimore County to become Baltimore City. I promise you that.
Yeah.
question number 4, and Mr. McDonough, you will answer first. The Health Emergencies Powers Act allowed County Executive Johnny Olszewski to order lockdowns, mask, and vaccine mandates. Do you agree with his use of the Health Emergency Powers Act? And if not, what would you have done differently?
Well, to be honest with you, I think there's very little that I agree with that Johnny Olszewski does. Litigation is going to be a strong and important part of the next county executive's job, including on the issue that was just mentioned. 3 years ago, I formed the Respect the Constitution nonprofit law firm, which helped these great ladies like Amy Adams and Mary Taylor to put together the Parents and Students Coalition for Baltimore County. Also, you may remember Vince's Crab House was under attack by Black Lives Matter. We called the police. Hyatt and Olszewski told them to stand down. We sued them, and we're still suing them. On the same day, he marched in a Black Lives Matter parade in Reisterstown. Litigation is going to be used to protect freedom and the conservative movement in America and in Baltimore County. Right now, the Section 8 housing is being forced upon us by a legal judicial dictate, which is flimsy and unconstitutional. My first week in office, my 40 members of the county law firm will sue to get rid of that, okay? We will sue on other issues. Litigation is important. Experience is important. The gentleman just said the legislature. 70% of the legislators in Baltimore County are left-wing wackos. They are voting in the General Assembly against the police. It's going to take litigation, it's going to take experience, it's going to take courage, and it's going to take you to be with me and join me and support me in the fight to save this county.